Let me open this event today. Okay, we can start Java. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so let's start. Let's me open. Okay, hello everyone. Hello all member of Tomcat Lovers Reborn community and all people who join this live even on Balance Live with Tomcat Lovers and welcome to the Crypto Cave event in the Tomcat Lovers community. Today we are privileged to have special guest from amazing project Xcoin. He joining us and he will give us some more intuitive introduction about their unique project, guys. So feel very exciting to hear more about that. Okay, so yeah. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Yong, and I'm one of admin of Tomcat Lovers Reborn community, and I will be the host of this MA of this event. Sorry. First of all, I will explain to you guys the course of this event today. There will be three segments. The first segment is introduction questions about the project. Second segment is answering the questions from the Twitter, and the third segment is answering the question from live section, guys. So please prepare your best question on the last segment later, and we will and make sure you follow it and join it our socials media of Xcoin project, guys. Okay, so let's start. Let's greet our guest today. Hello, Mr. Wisdom. How are you today?
Greg Skypiece and Java Pradana A. I'm so excited as well to be with you guys today on Binance Live AMA this afternoon in my region right here. So it's a pleasure. How about
Oh,
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm amazing. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Yeah. So, before we go dig deeper, sorry, before that, thank you very much for introducing yourself. And yeah, before we go dig deeper, maybe you can say a little bit about your experience in this crypto industry, maybe, Mr. Wisdom.
All right, basically, my name's Wisdom, as you can see right here. And of course, I got into the crypto myself about 2 years ago, started trading some pairs of cryptocurrency, maybe buying some shit coins. Starting off, I didn't really understand the concept of how it works until 2021. I actually had to, fully, get myself into crypto and I understood the fundamentals of it. I read so many books regarding cryptocurrencies. I followed so many influencers on Twitter as well. I learned a lot from their tweets as well. And of course, I actually found out that okay, I can offer services in crypto, in terms of let's say public relations, management, and stuff like that. And of course, that's how far I've gone as well. The journey has not really been easy, trust me, but it's been worth the while because I've been able to build some connections. I've met so many people, good and bad. And of course, it's still add up to the experiences. So that's how far I've gone with crypto as well on my end. And that's how my experience has been so far.
Okay, you have very extraordinary experience, Mr. Wisdom. Very amazing. I believe that the project will be introduced today is also fantastic project too, Mr. Wisdom. Okay, thank you very much for introducing yourself to us. Okay, so let's officially start our event today. By move to the first segment of our event is answering the introduction questions about the project. Okay, are you ready, Mr. Wisdom?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, so let's go with the first question on this first segment. What exactly is Xcoin and what are its goals?
All right, so our coin right here, the name here is Hong Kong coin, HKC. That's basically the abbreviation of the coin itself. And right now there's a meme season, and of course, right now we've actually come up with another meme token, and this one is actually known as HKC token. It's trending everywhere on Twitter as well. It's basically a meme token that is designed to embrace the spirit of Hong Kong and leverage on the booming market, crypto market right here as well. And of course, you know that for sure, this Hong Kong coin is basically created in response to the anticipation of the Hong Kong legalizing, of course, digital currencies as well. Now, it is primarily a meme token and does not have any real utility beyond this particular speculative value right now. And the project aims to generate profit to its holders by implementing an automated broadening mechanisms as well. And of course, what I mean by that is when 2% whenever you're having a transaction, made using the token, let's say you buy or sell the system, there is basically an automated process as well that burn 2% of whatever activity you're using the token to do right there. And of course that will enhance the value of the token and reduce the total circulating supply. That is it. And of course the token itself is basically going to be entirely community driven, meaning that its development and decision making processes are driven by the community of the token holders. That's how the project is basically going to work. Like I mentioned before, there is no real utility. It's basically a meme project. It's following the hype regarding surrounding the Hong Kong, being one of the big countries right there in Asia, I think China to be precise, adopting crypto and, of course, legalizing it. Now, we actually understand that this would bring so much hype in the market, and that's the reason we coin out the idea of bringing up a project known as the HGC token as well to the market. We know that there'll be so many people who are actually going to respond positively, especially investors, let's say international marketers right there in Hong Kong, across the globe as well, because it's suddenly a good news. Big Short basically going to come from Hong Kong as well to be investing in project as well. And we know that, okay, this is basically going to be a good idea for us, because if we start right now, there is going to be a high chance that we're going to be having some partnerships with big crypto investors right there in Hong Kong as well, even those exchanges as well. So that's the reason we actually have to bring the project to live at this period. And of course, it's really early as well.
Okay, thank you very much for your very clear explanation about the introduction about the project. This project is very truly amazing. Yes, for your information, yes, that for you guys who don't know that Hong Kong and China are crypto on Hong Kong and China is hype again, starting to hype again because the nation is the regulation are starting to support crypto in the nation, guys. So yeah, this project is take advantage of it and will be hypers and take advantage will be become a bigger in the future, guys. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. Okay, so let's go with the next questions. What else can you share with us and the Xcoin ecosystems?
Yeah, sure. What I want to say regarding the project. Of course, the coin, the Hong Kong coin itself, is basically going to be the fact that investors and traders, enthusiasts as well in the world, are basically going to have some local partnerships as well with us and influencers as well. So that's a key thing. And we going in very early in the market right now, creating the first token ever to represent the Hong Kong as well, being a nation itself that actually legalized Bitcoin, is actually going to be a big move for us. So that's a key thing. So like I mentioned before, it's a meme token at the moment, because it is built on excitement, of the news we receive, from the Hong Kong as well, legalizing the Bitcoin itself, as well as other digital cryptocurrencies as well. And just to make things, very easier for investors, because I know for sure that people are actually going to be asking, how are we going to be making money out of this? You guys don't even have real utility. Yes, for sure. But you have to be rest assured that there is a lot of money that is set aside for marketing, because just like the PayPay, who was a very which was a very hyped project as well, meme token, we're actually going to surround a project as well with the hype as well, because of the marketing we're going to do. And as well, it's not just going to be about the marketing. It could also be for the fact that we are actually going to get some big partnerships with Big Short as well. We're going to have many people who would actually want to adopt the token as well. That is actually how it is going to work. And of course, that the other brand mechanisms, like I mentioned before, which is incorporated into the HKCN token itself, is basically going to reduce the token supply over time, because each time a transaction is being made right there, of course, 2% of whatever you actually used for the transaction is actually going to be burned automatically as well. So that's actually how it is going to be. And then we're basically, like I mentioned before, going to have a bullish market impact as well. So that's basically how it is, because the Hong Kong's reputation, as we know, with the influence is basically have, especially in the financial world as well, is basically going to be a potential, center of focus as well, to create a bullish sentiment in the crypto market as well for us. So that's basically how it is actually going to be. And of course, that Right now, our token already have a unique feature as well, coupled with the positive attention generated by the Hong Kong's legal trading in crypto as well. So that's basically going to attract investors as well, and as well going to create exposure to the meme token market and the growing cryptocurrency landscape in Hong Kong as well. So that's basically some of the additional information I just needed to add right there.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. That's very amazing answer about the ecosystem on the Xcoin project. Yeah, and actually it's a Hong Kong project, guys. And yeah, so very cool ecosystem that the project have will support the project, will make the project become sustained on the on this industry on this space, and will be good profit for us, guys. Okay, so talk about the profit, talk about the potential. So can you tell us more about how will Xcoin or Hong Kong project will generate long-term profit for the investors, sir?
All right. So regarding long-term profitability, it is basically important for everyone to know that it's basically going to be a high volatility token because it's basically right now, like I say, potential profitable project for all investors. And of course, currently we are actually organizing the fair launch running right now in Pink Cell. And of course, if anyone is interested, they could be an early investor because we didn't have any private sale. It's basically one of the first sales we've ever embarked on. And of course, we're getting some responses as well. We're actually going to be a pretty low market cap kind of token as well. Now, look at it from the investor's standpoint, from the perspective, if this token is basically going to be launched as well, and then it's taken to, the world market as well. And then maybe like, let's say 100 influencers are talking about the project, they're tweeting about it, and not just any, how investors or influencers, it's basically going to be, influencers as well who are actually, very influential in the market and have lots of followers, and not just followers. I mean, followers who are able to throw in, quick boxes into. So sorry, my mic was muted. I think I'm actually up right now. Yeah, sure. So that being said, I'm pretty much sure that I didn't actually go for a long time, but I think I'm back right now. So that's the key thing. If we actually get the project tweeted everywhere across Twitter and holding, lots of articles as well in terms of press release in the world market as well, and get so many investors to jump right in. And of course, it is basically going to be highly volatile, positively as well for investors, and they're going to be making quick exits as well because the aim right here is basically to get to or 100x in the next couple of days. And of course, the team has already set things in place as well to make sure that all these requirements and of course expectations are being made in a shorter period of time. So it's not something that's gonna take a long time. It's something that it's gonna take place within short period as well, just to follow the hype in the market. And of course, if it right here, check Bloomberg News as well and other financial press releases, you're going to see that, okay, there are massive adoption of this. There are massive excitement surrounding, the Hong Kong's legalization of digital currency as well. And so many exciting events is surrounding it. And then there are so many press releases regarding that as well. For example, if you check the blog as well, you're going to be seeing so many releases as well regarding that. If you check Bloomberg, for example, you're going to be seeing some of these as well coming up as well. And so many people are basically creating project, like let's say starting to learn more about the Hong Kong as well. And of course, the exciting event is actually going to be, a turning point in the crypto space right here. So that's a key thing. So if we basically focus in the community building as well, and of course try to make sure that every investor's questions is being answered, in no time as well, having a good an up and running community right there, it's actually going to be a big plus as well for our investors. And of course, if you see the transparency of developers and marketers surrounding the project itself, you could know that, okay, hey, look, I think this project is worth, throwing some BNBs into it. And of course, I will, definitely try to do everything as well to make sure I'll be part of a mooning project such as this. So, that's basically how investors are going to make money via the project itself.
Okay, sounds very amazing, Mr. Wisdom. Thank you very much. Yeah, That's very amazing. So yeah, from the explanation of Mr. Wisdom, guys, we can know the potential of the project. That's very high and very amazing potential that the project have. We can get many. They have own interest for the investor to join this project, guys, and yeah, many ways to get in to get the benefit from the project. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Widom, for your reliable answer. Okay, so let's answer the next question on this first segment. It will be the last questions. Would you let us to know what Hong Kong Coin is working on at the moment and what events are going on now at Hong Kong Coin?
Yes, sure. The key thing that we are basically working on right now in terms of the roadmap side of things, we're doing the fair launch as well right now on Pink Cell. I've already mentioned that before. So investors are basically willing to jump right in, could as well be part of an amazing ecosystem as well. So that's a key thing. Another thing that we are basically looking forward to achieve is basically to make sure that we gain the trust of our community, because we take into consideration the fact that the community is everything. Without the community, we are not actually going to get to anywhere. So that's the key thing. So we're dedicated to the community as well by creating an online forum. Community is right here in Telegram, as well as Twitter as well, to enable people to discuss ideas, to propose their initiative, and vote on important project decision as well. So that's basically what we're actually going to do. And right now, what we're doing is basically trying to do an event surrounding AMAs as well. We got so many of them booked already, with in view of the fair launch as well, because we understand that no matter how potential a project might be, if we do not create the exposure out there for people, they would not actually get to learn about it. And of course, even if your project is good, nobody would still know about it, and it's not going to be good for the project. And that's the reason the team already booked so many AMAs, in influential communities. I don't want to mention that because you already said from the instructions. I should have mentioned the exchanges as well. But those are the events we're gonna do in the coming days and weeks. Just to make sure that we get so many people as well to jump right in, into the project itself. So that's the key thing right now. So like I mentioned before, we haven't actually got any real utility right now because, like I said, it's a meme token. People who understand what meme token is, I can apologetically say that. Okay, if you understand this thing, there is no need for so much explanation because you already understand how it works and all of that. So I think it's important for people who actually get to know and of course understand what meme token is to do just research regarding this project as well. That's a key thing that everyone should do right now. So that's the thing. And of course, once we're doing that, we're actually working on the marketing campaigns right now. So the things we're going to be doing right now is basically to strategically time the marketing campaign to coincide with a Hong Kong crypto related event, especially conferences or announcements as well, to maximize the impact of the bullish sentiment. That's actually what we're actually going to achieve as well in the long run. And basically, there is actually going to be an educational initiative because we understand the fact that even though Hong Kong itself is actually going to legalize Bitcoin, legalize digital currency as well, you're not gonna tell me, for sure that it's actually everyone who is actually a citizen of Hong Kong who understand what crypto is. So that's it. We're basically going to invest in educating them as well, and not just them. I mean, other people as well who might be, of course, interested. In learning more about cryptocurrency, they could actually be part of it as well. I mean, worldwide. So that's one of the things we're actually going to invest in as well. So that is basically what we're going to do. And of course, in the long run, like I mentioned before, we're going to be having some NFTs as well coming up as soon as possible. And those NFTs are actually going to have a specific supply. There is no information regarding that right now because we are basically hoping to build this at the initial stage, bit by bit and one step after another as well. So that's what we're actually going to do in the long run as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. It's very exciting to hear about the future plans for the X Coin, the Hong Kong Coin ecosystem beyond the platform. I believe that this approach can help build momentum and create additional value for the investor and for the everyone that interested in this kind of meme project. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. It's very clear now, so we already know what's the project is. So yeah, thank you very much once again. So let's continue to knowing more about the projects more intense by moving to the second segment of our event is answering the questions from Twitter, Mr. Wisdom. Okay, so guys, on this segment, we have selected the best question from Twitter, and yeah, we will answer your question with Mr. Wisdom, guys. Okay, so let's go with the first question. It's come from at Reza underscore HMTLH. Yo, can you explain in more detail about XNFT?
Yes, sure. I actually mentioned that NFT is basically something that is going to come much later as well, after some development side of things as well. We haven't determined the number of the NFTs, how it is going to be, the market that we're going to trade it on as well. Just at the moment, it's basically one of the utilities we're going to be having in the roadmap in the long run. For now, we are only focusing in the marketing, side of stuff to make sure that the meme token itself reaches everyone. But more information regarding the NFT itself is actually going to be unleashed, in a time that not so long from now, depending on how effective the project itself is. So I would actually advise this someone who asked the question as well to look out to the community, join all our news channels as well, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Discord as well as Telegram, to keep him or herself updated about some recent information that's going to be shared as well, regarding the NFT side of stuff too.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. Yes, as we see on the website, also there is will be implemented NFT plan on the project. Yes, this is the main project as already said by Mr. Wisdom. But on the roadmap, of course, they will develop the project become a better and become a fantasy project in the future. Okay, thank you very much. So yes, as already mentioned by Mr. Wisdom, you can join to stay updated about the news about the upcoming things on the project by joining the social, so like following the Twitter and join the Telegram, guys. Okay, thank you very much. So let's answer the next question from Twitter. It's come from at Raden Ganjar Bitcoin BTC. Yeah. Is there a tax deduction for buy and selling mechanism these tokens? If so, how many percent and what is the tax for?
Yeah, sure. 2% of the tax is basically going to be used, of course, to be deducted each time a transaction is being made, and the tax is basically going directly into the burning of the tokens as well. Of course, if you burn token in that regular basis, it's actually going to enhance the value and, of course, induce scarcity of the token itself, and many people are actually going to adopt it on a valuable spot as well.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very nice strategy for a unique strategy to keep increasing the token value. Yeah, Mr. Wisdom. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's answer the next question. It's come from at Fabrian Shah 785. Okay, so how about the security on this project? Can you explain the security measures that you have taken so far?
Yeah, sure. In terms of the security aspect of things, it's something that I always like to talk about because it's necessary for every investor, of course, to understand how the project is going to work in terms of the security side of stuff, right? So to that end, what we're actually going to do, like I mentioned before, we already have blockchain encryption and automated burning mechanism as well. And of course, it is basically important as well for us to, have other blockchain measures as well, because we know for sure that, one of the things that investors would look out for would be the security aspect and privacy, how secure this blockchain is basically going to be. And of course, that's the reason we're actually coming on board to, build the project itself on top of the uh of course BSC network right now, because okay, Caesar is working so hard, in terms of trying to create a blockchain that is safer for everyone as well. And of course, it's working really hard. So we figured that okay, this is basically going to be a good starting point as well to build a project upon. Maybe later on we could actually try to switch to any other mainnet or something. But for the meantime, the security aspect of it is basically put in place as well. So I think it is important as well for everyone to read the white paper as well as the website itself to get full information, and of course always take security measures as well to be part, of course, of course, decision making process in terms of the finances as well whenever they want to invest in any project as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. It's very convincing answer. Yes, apart from the profit that already we talked about in this year of the event, and the security is one of the things that must be considered before we join, before we jump into the project. And yeah, for your answer, from your answer, we can know that security system on this project is very safe and very high tech priorities. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. Okay, so let's answer the next question from Twitter. It's come from at Saudi underscore IDP. CoinX or Hong Kong project is run on the BSC network right now. Any plans for it to be on other networks like Arbitrum, which is currently hype?
Yeah, sure. Right now we actually have to be focusing right now, on one chain, which is basically the BSC mainnet at the moment as well. But there is basically some plans to integrate into other chains in the long run as the project keep on, developing more hype in the market. That's how we're going to do as well to increase the volume. I mean, daily trading volume, because we know for sure that, okay, maybe let's say many people are in love with Ethereum, they're in love with Arbitrum and all of that. We have to integrate that into, those chains in the future, but it's just part of the future plans that we are actually having, to integrate into the project itself. That's what we're going to do as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. That's very reliable answer, sir. Okay, so let's answer the next question. The last question from this Twitter segment is come from at Adi Rahman 180. Okay, market is adjusting sharply. The risks are very high, but also a great opportunity for Xcoin or Hong Kong coin develop the project. What are the characteristics of your project and how is your development strategy to be able to compete and rise to top among other projects?
Yeah, sure. The characteristic. Okay, sure. The characteristics of the project we're having right here. I actually mentioned something about the community-driven process. Any project that is community-driven always take the community, into consideration each time. And to me, that's the most important thing because if you're actually having some project and you have, let's say, 10 community members who are basically willing to stick with you. I mean, you have to be able to, control them. That's one of the things you actually understand. And we know for sure that, okay, it's not going to make sense. Let's say you bring 1,000 people, you cannot manage them. You don't know how to answer their questions. You don't know how to make them feel at home. They're basically going to leave. And of course, you're not going to see any improvement or any add up as well, because, add ups happen if, 10 investors come to meet 20, 20 come to meet 30 and all of that. And you keep growing in number and not just growing. You're going to see active community who are willing as well to take action. That's one of the things you're investing in. We make sure that all the moderators are always trained. The community managers are trained to answer questions as well. We have intriguing videos as well that's always made to keep the community active and agile, as well as trying as much as we can, importantly, to make sure that we bring up some amazing community event, to them. And of course, these events are not free. Of course, it is something that, okay, let's say you're basically the most active member, you're going to be having so and so amount of tokens deposited to you as well. And of course, the community are going to be happy. There is no how you're going to do that, that you're not going to make them happy. So that's basically what you're going to do, and that's our strategy for the meantime as well. Now, in terms of the burning mechanisms, we know people will be so excited as well to understand that, okay, the project is basically undergoing a burning mechanism as well. They're going to be having burning event from time to time, each time a transaction is being made. And of course, that could happen, let's say, every minute, because each time people are making transactions, your token is being burned. 2% of what you're transacting will be burned automatically, and that would increase the value. They'll be so excited, of course, to learn about that. That's the characteristics of it that we're having as well. And that's empty reduce the supply, like I mentioned before, with each transaction, of course. So that's basically it. People would be excited. They may appeal to, actually the characteristics of this project will appeal to them as well, who are basically going to be interested in participating in the meme token with the potential speculative gains that it may offer as well. So that's basically what we're going to do and how we're hoping to be different.
Okay, that's very convincing us about the project, Mr. Wisdom. Thank you very much for that amazing answer. And yes, so keep the fantastic for everyone. Let's continue to make this project to go platform, very amazing platform for in this crypto industry. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. That's very good answer. That's what our investor would love to hear. And that is the second segment of our event today. And so let's continue our event to the next segment. It will be the last segment, and it will be the most interesting part of this event. Okay, so it's answering the question from left section, guys. Okay, so on this segment, we will choose and answering five best questions from the comments. So please drop your question. Whatever do you want to know about the project, please drop your question on the comment box below, and don't forget to include your Telegram username on your question, guys. And please make sure you have followed and joined our social media of X Coin or Hong Kong Coin, guys. So yeah, we will give you about 2 minutes to drop your best question on the comments, and we will start choosing and answer your question, guys. Okay, so let's rock and drop your best questions. Okay, yeah, let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, maybe we can go with for the first question on this love section, Mr. Wisdom. Yes, I believe that is this question is already answered on in the earlier that we talked about the project. Yeah, you already said that that project is community driven, but let's confess and let's tell them again about this insight. This question is come from at Ilham Hoki. How did you get the community to get sorry? How did you uh, sorry, I lost the question. Uh, how did you get the community involved in developing the project, and how do you build a strong community to grow globally?
Yeah, sure. How we get the community to get involved in the project itself directly is, always making sure that we value their opinion. Each time they're actually going to give us opinion, each time we want to do decision or making process, we bring that as well to the table of the community. They'll deliberate upon that as well, then give us valid suggestion. That's basically it. So like I mentioned before, we are also going to be creating some unique community as well for all our investors. Of course, because we know that investors' decision matter, of course, to our own projects. That's the key thing we're going to be doing. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be having live events, live AMAs as well, in which you would have to communicate directly with the team and get your questions answered. I think that's basically going to foster so much trust as well and bring investors more confidence into the project.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. Yes, so yeah, as we know that as far we know that the community driven project is the most endure and sustainable project, and the X coin or Hong Kong coin is best one of them, guys. Okay, thank you very much for the answer. Okay, so John, what you are waiting for, please join the community and become a part of the develop of the project, guys. Okay. So let's answer the next question from this live section. This come from Edvis Safina. Okay. As I see on the roadmap on the phase 4, there will be plans there are plans to launch a social application. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, sure. In terms of the social application we're gonna launch in the long run, right there is in the roadmap. Like I said, it's something that is gonna come much later. But then, right there, it's actually going to be a place where investors would get to interact live with, the team themselves, and of course, they're gonna get their questions answered. They can as well try as much as they can to also be part of an amazing ecosystem movement by chatting with each other as well. You're going to be having other investors as you, and then you proceed to of course be chatting with them, and that's actually going to make sense as well. With the expansion of it, the social media aspects of stuff is actually going to, be based on the excitement surrounding the Hong Kong token itself and the special event as well. And that's the reason why we're basically going to try as much as we can to integrate into other languages. I mean, different languages, because we don't want a language here to be a barrier. That's actually it as well. Let's say you're basically from Brazil, let's say you're from China, and of course you need to use the app itself, a social media app. Of course, you can as well switch to the language of your choice to proceed to use it in a simpler manner. That's actually how the social media aspects of stuff's gonna work.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. That's very comprehensive answer. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's go to the next questions. It's come from at Counterpain at Yuzu 18. The idea of the project is really unique and incredible. How did this idea come about?
Yes, sure. Like I mentioned before, the idea basically came because of the sudden legalization of cryptocurrency and digital currency right there in Hong Kong as well. That's basically how the idea was coined out of it. And of course, for sure that we are always trying to see how we can, of course, be creative in the market, especially when cryptocurrency is concerned, how we can actually make users to stay in profit as well. That's how the idea was conceptualized as well.
Okay, thank you very much. That's very amazing story behind the project, sir. And yeah, so we can know that the project come about and the start of the project become join in this industry and will be dominate of this segment on this blockchain space. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. Okay, so let's answer the next question from this live sections. It's come from at yes, Parto is back. Parto is back. What's your plans to maintain or increasing the token value on the future?
Yeah, token value in the future is basically going to be based on marketing. Like I mentioned before, after the hype itself, there's actually going to be real-time utilities to be developed as well into the project itself. I think that's the reason you're going to be seeing some of the stuff right there on the roadmap. These are the things we're going to be implementing one after the other as well. So that's a key thing. For now, we actually understanding that we will do our best in terms of marketing. We'll try our best, in terms of trying to get partnerships as well to adopt a project. We're going to try to partner with, of course, our successful owners of main projects, let's say Paper and the likes of them as well, and we're going to be getting some strategies from them. We're going to be getting some connections and, of course, investors coming from their own side as well. And that's basically going to create more exposure, to our own project. And the price of it is basically going to search up over time.
Okay, that's very nice plan and amazing plan. Like convincing us to join because the plan to maintain, to control the price, to control the value of the token is very sophisticated for this mechanism on the ecosystem. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. Okay, so let's answer the next question. It will be the last question from this live section. It's come from at Captain Bintang Jup 0117. What are your what's the ambitious goal of the project in for the future?
Sure. The goal is actually to make sure that we get as many adopters as possible, as people who are basically going to have, our project as well. So that's basically going to be some of the things we're planning, as well as our vision as well, because we know for sure that, of course, investors are losing it, the community are losing it. Nobody actually, care about the community any longer as well. This time you would ask a question and no one will be there to answer your question. We want to change that totally. And of course, that's the reason why we are basically 100% community driven. If we check the community, our roadmap as well, you're not, I mean, of course, let's say we're tokenomics side of stuff, you're not going to see any team token as well. Everything is basically loaded out for the community as well as the liquidity itself, because, that's what the community needs as well. Transparency is what they need And of course, they want to know, where is this money going to? What exactly are you going to use it for? By the time you're able to give your investors that kind of confidence, as well as the community, they would have so much trust in you as well. And of course, that's basically going to bring some positive hypes towards you. So our long-term plan, is basically to make sure that our community feel at home anytime they jump right in, be it new role, and we try to make sure that we answer the questions in as much as they keep obeying the community rules, bro.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. That's very good answer. And that is the last question on this live section. Thank you very much for answering all the questions, Mr. Wisdom. It's a very nice information for us and for you guys. Thank you very much for you guys that already dropped your question in the comments. And yeah, so from this event, we can know about the project more deeply, yes, about the behind idea of the project, about the future plans, about the insight about the goals and about the plans that for now and what about the event that are working on the project right now, guys. And yeah, so we can conclude that this project is very great project and very convincing and very amazing project, guys. Yeah, so thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. That's I think that's a lot of information about the project. And yeah, unfortunately we run out of the time to hold this event. I want to thank you very much for Mr. Wisdom for joining us and sharing the insight on the project, updating us on the progress of the project, and also expressing our gratitude to active participation of the Tomcat lovers community. Okay, so before we close this MA today, anything else want to add about the Xcoin or Hong Kong project for our community and for all the viewers on the Binance Live right now, Mr. Wisdom?
Yeah, sure. So what I basically want to say regarding the project itself is that, of course, the front launch is currently running right now, and it's all started today at 10 a.m. UTC. I think being the 18th as well. We're gonna be having the front launch to last for 2 days. I think on the 20th around 9 a.m. UTC. We're actually going to round things up as well on the 20th of June as well. So the LP is basically going to be 51% to be added from whatever is raised as well. And of course, the pool is going to be locked for 365 days. That's the key thing. And one amazing thing is if users cannot, let's say you don't have the money and the funds as well to invest, you could as well try as much as you can to, let's say, invite your friends to be part of it. And of course, you could get some percentage given to you as well in form of BNB. So that's basically the final statement. So I would actually like to say, if anyone wants to get more information or want to know how the project plays out, do well to jump right into our socials as well, on Twitter as well as Telegram. And of course, make sure that you read the pinned messages and follow the instructions from the team themselves. And of course, you're basically going to get full-time information that you're looking for. Like I mentioned, we're going to be having live AMAs coming up as soon as possible as well. And we're basically trying to build more and more connections regarding this project. So to me, it's basically a big yes for everyone as well who are listening to me right now to jump right in, and of course they're gonna make some good profits in the long run.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom, that for all the information. Yeah, of course, if you still have a question, guys, about the project, you can jump to their social as Mr. Wisdom said, guys. And yeah, so don't miss the opportunity to keep your eyes in the project, in Exclaim project, and witness the project soar to new heights, guys. Let's grow together because the possibilities from here are limitless. Okay, so that's all of our event today about the X coin, about the Hong Kong K, the project that exists by advantage of the Hong Kong hypes. Crypto Hong Kong hypes and meme project will be fantastic for the future. Okay, so that's all. Thank you very much. This is Young speaking from Tomcat Lovers. It's a pleasure for our community to have you, Mr. Wisdom. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's all. Take care, guys. Have a nice day. Goodbye and see you again. Bye bye.
All right, bye. Bye. Thanks. Take care.